Welcome back into Ramen Rewatch. This is our second episode of the podcast. We are live here on Twitch. I also created the YouTube channel, so you guys are going to be able to watch this later on if you don't catch it live. But yeah, this is our second episode. I'm excited to get back here with you guys. I'm going to introduce our guys here. So we got Sean and Landon again, my two co-hosts. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Good, good.
Awesome. And then we got a special guest here with us tonight. This is going to be a guy that will probably show up on the show a lot, but we got Midas. Hey, you want to say something?
Hi guys, how we doing? I've been watching an anime for a long time. It's definitely been a while, so I talk to all these guys all the time. I watched the first podcast episode, and yeah,
So,
they invited me on.
Midas is another guy who's watched a good bit of anime. So, it's going to be nice to have him on the show with us. He'll be able to talk about a lot more stuff than, even I can probably talk about. So, it'll be cool to have his wisdom on the show with us. So, what are some of your favorite shows that you would say would be like in your top five?
All right, it's cheesy. It's everyone says it all the time, but One Piece is definitely my favorite anime of all time. Love One Piece. It wasn't my first anime though. My first anime that I've ever watched that I would consider like a mainstream anime would probably be Naruto. I feel like I watched a lot of your guys' podcasts, like I said, the last one. Nobody brought up like older animation like Avatar The Last Airbender or Samurai Jack.
Yep.
I don't know if we like really consider those animes, but in my opinion, I think they're very overlooked and some of the greatest animes of like all time, technically.
Yeah, so we definitely talked last stream about a lot of the newer stuff. Obviously, Landon's seen a lot of that newer stuff. I wouldn't personally say that Avatar or Samurai Jack is technically anime. However, I'm definitely open to talking about stuff like that on the show because I was talking to these guys. Eventually, I'd love to do episodes on like Cyberpunk and some of like the more anime adjacent shows. So definitely like any of those animations, I'm definitely game to talk about. Um, Avatar is one of my favorite series of all time, and then Samurai Jack was also a big one growing up as well. So yeah, it'll be definitely cool to get into some of those. But this show again is going to probably be more like a general anime discussion today. We're still early in the show, so I want to kind of keep it simple and talk about like some of our favorite villains in anime, as well as some of our least favorite villains and some of our favorite arcs in all of our favorite shows. So before we get into all that, I do want to bring up a couple of things. So we recently set a goal of hitting 20 subscribers on YouTube and 20 followers on Twitch. We're going to try to hit that before December. I think that's a good little goal for us to try to hit. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, definitely follow us so you guys can get all the news and all of our new videos coming out. Other than that, same old, same old. If you guys do want to know about the podcast or hear what we're doing, just follow us on our socials. That'll be the best way to do it. And Sean and I are going to work on getting some of the show's socials made this week, and we'll get those put out there for you guys as well. But with that being said, I think it would be a good time to talk about our favorite arcs in anime. So I think Midas, if you want to start since you're our guest, you want to go through your top five arcs in anime and why you think they're, you know, great fiction.
Heard that. I'm gonna walk through all of them, and then if we want to discuss them after, we can discuss them after. If you guys have questions like as to why I put which one which or in which spot, feel free to ask. So I'm gonna start with an honorable mention. A lot of people hate Skypiea from One Piece. I don't know why. I think it's such a good arc. It starts it off. It gives such a good glimpse into the depth of One Piece. The later you watch, the more references and ties and parallels come back to Skypiea. So definitely an honorable mention for me. All right, number 5 though. I know you said Avatar, you didn't consider it an anime, but it's in my top 5. I think Prince Zuko's redemption arc in Avatar: The Last Airbender, perfect animation. It's so good. Storytelling's great, amazing. My number 4 is going to be the Royal Knights arc in Black Clover. Fire. My number 3, Justice, you might like this one. It's going to be the York New City arc from Hunter x Hunter.
Nice.
My number 2 is going to be Pain's Assault arc from Naruto. And then my number 1 favorite arc in all of anime, at least for me personally, is going to be the Marine Ford arc from One Piece.
All right. So I'll let you guys react first because I definitely have a lot to say about that list.
I'm not surprised about
Go ahead,
Marineford.
Andy.
I kind of figured that would be up there. I mean, obviously we know I'm not caught up in One Piece by any means. I'm actually currently in Skypiea, but I've been spoiled a lot of Marineford, and even though I haven't watched it, I wouldn't mind putting it in my top 5, but I didn't. But yeah, it's a pretty good arc. Can't blame you.
It's peak.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, One Piece arcs are they're an interesting take. I don't have any One Piece in my top 5, but dude, it's growing on me. One Piece was very slow and I avoided on it, but I can see why you guys have it up there. It's good. It's good, bro.
So you said Marine Ford is your favorite arc, not just One Piece arc. I think that's pretty fire. I,
Yes.
I think that's a pretty good one. I was going through trying to do my list, and I was thinking like I was telling these guys I have like 6 arcs that I could easily put in the top 5, and so I was kind of like trying to go through that, and I decided to only put one on my list. I won't spoil it, but I mean, what can't you like about Marine Ford? It is the perfect arc. I think that is fire. Um, you also brought up York New, which I think is awesome. I also have a Hunter x Hunter arc in mine as well, and it's always funny because in Hunter x Hunter you always have the debate between York New and the Chimera and Ant arc, and I love both of them, but I'd probably prefer the York New arc as well, which I feel like more of the community likes the Chimera and Ant arc. So I think it was cool that you had that
Yeah.
one.
I mean,
And like I
yeah, I
said,
mean both are super popular. And I think there's different reasons for liking both, you know what I mean? Like for
yeah, yeah,
me, the reason I like York New so much is I love all of the characters in York New, whereas the Chimera Ant arc, there's some characters that I absolutely hated, and you'll see that later on in my least favorite villains.
this is. Dude, I'm so excited for this because I feel like you and I's lists are gonna be like very similar but totally different. Um, so then also, I will say with that, I agree. For Hunter x Hunter, like I love the Phantom Troop, and I feel like York New is incredible. It introduces all those characters really well, and then I also love the Chimera and Anarch too because it has Miriam. He's this really awesome character that has a lot of philosophy behind him, and I feel like it doesn't take long for you to grow attached to his character. And then you got Netero, who I think is also like one of the coolest like senseis or masters in a show. Just like his art style, I feel like also inspired um, Zeus from like uh, Record of Ragnarok. Like he that character is really cool. But I also want to get to Avatar. So we were talking about earlier about is Avatar anime or not. For your guys' list, I don't think it really matters. Whatever sort of animation that is kind of in that vein, we'll definitely accept because everybody has like a different is that anime or not. For me, I don't really care. So I definitely love Avatar, and I can talk about that a good bit. I think Zuko is my favorite character as well. Being a Leo and him being fire, I always liked him. And then his arc is one of the best arcs in any like character arc you could possibly have. Um, and actually, he's my second favorite character because my first is Iroh. So like he's an extension of Zuko. So
Yes,
definitely
100%.
definitely love that. If you haven't watched Avatar, it's like 4 of the best seasons of a show you could possibly want, and it's pretty quick. For real, dude. It's fire.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking that Attack on Titan is also 4 seasons, so I don't know if I can agree with that statement, but hey,
Well, see,
that's a crazy take.
Midas,
Yeah.
I've seen both. Midas can't comment because he hasn't seen Attack on Titan. So
I have
that's
not been on Attack on Titan, unfortunately.
I'm not disrespecting on Avatar. I'm just saying that's a crazy take because I know how good Attack on Titan is. I
well,
haven't seen Avatar either, so I can't say it's a wrong
Attack
take. I
Attack
just
on
think it's a
Titan
crazy
is
take.
pretty damn good. So I don't know. They are two
I
very
mean,
different shows. There's not nearly
you've
the
talked about
Sean, have you watched
right.
Avatar?
Avatar: The Last Airbender with Aang
Yeah.
and yeah, I've
All
seen
right,
all
what
of
do we
it.
got streaming here? Okay, you guys seen
That's
that
for
stuff?
me. That's for me and Landon. That's for me and Landon. Yep, you're
That's
good.
just for us. Yeah, that's our note.
Oh, let me take that.
Mhm.
So anyway, chat.
But like I was saying, I'm not disrespecting Avatar by any means necessary. I just know how good Attack on Titan is, so it's just kind of surprising that you're putting it up in that echelon. You know, like you have said, also we do play a lot of video games, so I just personally think Attack on Titan is like the greatest story I've ever been told in any form.
Well, that's the cool thing too is we got a lot of anime to change your perspective on that. I think Attack on Titan is incredible. That story is great, but Avatar is different in a lot of ways, also, but just has an incredible story. So I think your list was pretty solid. I loved all of it. My list has a lot of similar stuff to it. So
I'm excited to hear you for that.
yeah. So Sean, if you want to go next, we can hop over to your list.
We can go ahead and go with All right, so my top five arcs are. Let's see here. All right, let's start this off. We have. I got the Boo Saga. Boo Saga is up there for me for sure. Um, Boo is an insane character. I thought he was very overpowered the time he came in. The Tournament of Power is up there for me as well. Um, Dragon Ball Super, that Tournament of Power has got to be definitely one of my favorite arcs to be an experience to Jiren, Beerus, Whis, um, just those gods of destruction, the angels. I thought it was insane. The Shibuya incident's got to be a really good arc for me. I thought JJK was, um, honestly, I thought JJK was overrated before I started watching it. And then I started watching it and I thought it was really good. And I thought that part of it was phenomenal. The return to Shiganshina, that's definitely a top arc for me in AOT. Um, I mean, I feel like that's self-explanatory if you've seen it. I don't really want to say too much about it for Midas. And then the Namek arc in Dragon Ball Z, Planet Namek, when I thought that was very special, and I can't go too much in depth to it just because Landon hasn't watched Z yet, and that's a crazy spoiler if
Yeah.
I say stuff on it.
All right, guys, do you have any reactions to his list?
Honestly, I have never watched Dragon Ball. A lot of my
Oh wow.
friends, especially the ones on the podcast right now, yell at me all the time. They tell me to watch it all the time, and I need to stop being stubborn and I need to watch these animes because
We
I do
started
think
we
I
started One
do.
Piece.
That's true. That's true. So I do think I need to catch up on Attack on Titan, and then I probably will start DBZ eventually.
Well,
But I will say, as a kid growing up, when I did first started watching animes, Naruto, DBZ, all those ones were playing, and I always saw Boo and Majin Buu, and I always thought he was like a badass character. So I could just tell that the arc is like probably amazing.
Yeah, he's a bad man, bro.
I think the
He
other
a
cool
bad
thing too
dude.
about the Buu saga is you have the multiple transformations, and so you get like the crazy, weird, like larger version of him, but then you also have like the crazy like kid version that's sick. So that arc's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Did you guys have any other
there's a lot.
takes?
There's a lot.
So I also love the Return to Shiganshina arc. I think that's one of the top arcs in anime. I mean, there's a couple of arcs there. Like I like the Marley arc a lot too. And I feel like the
Yeah.
very I don't know if this is considered an arc, but the whole Annie arc as well in AOT was also a really good one. But no, I really liked your list. I like how much you had DBZ on there because we know it's your favorite. So I struggled making my list. I was like, dude, there's just in Z alone, there's 5 arcs that I like, you know. So,
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
but yeah, no, that is a very good list. How about you, Landon?
Thank you.
All right, so I'm actually going to start off with my honorable mention, like the other two. And Justice actually just mentioned this arc not too long ago. I actually have the Marley arc, and there's a certain scene in particular within the arc that I'm not going to say for Midas' sake because it is probably the biggest spoiler in all of anime, and all of anime. I can say
I
that
know
with
exactly. I know
100,000%.
exactly what scene he's talking about.
100,000% certainty. The biggest spoiler in all of anime.
Yep.
Any show you by far, this is the biggest one. So I'm not gonna say what it is, but if you've watched Attack on Titan, you know exactly what scene I'm referring to. I'm getting chills now just thinking about that scene. That scene hits so hard.
I
But then
watched
coming
it
at number
when it
5,
released, and it was like, bro.
Dude.
Jaw-
Oh my
when you're-
god, it was
The
insane.
definition of the
Oh
jaw
my
dropping
God,
emoji,
dude.
that's what that is right there.
You guys are getting me hyped to watch it. I might
like
Midas,
Bro, my brain
watch a
exploded.
couple. I might watch a couple episodes
Well, maybe,
tonight.
hey,
It's
not-
it's late over here where I'm at, but I might have to watch a couple episodes.
I kind of want to rewatch it now. All right.
Yeah,
that might
let's
be
get
something we
back
do
to my
after
list.
the podcast. We might watch a couple episodes.
Yeah, we've got.
But that's the cool thing too, right? Is doing this podcast, we can introduce each other to new anime, and you know, say in like 3 weeks, Midas has watched an arc or so of, you know, Attack on Titan. We can discuss it on here. So that's kind of the cool thing about doing this. But go ahead, Landon.
What he was saying, Midas, if you want, you can sit in Discord with us and we can, after the live stream's over, and we can stream Crunchyroll that we can all watch, and then we can watch the first couple episodes of Attack on Titan if you want.
Or
But anyways, back to my list. So my number 5 spot is another one to Sean, was Tournament of Power. Dragon Ball Super was one of my first animes, and just watching that arc was absolutely crazy. I got chills throughout so many different fights. I mean, Goku against Jiren the first time around, Goku versus Kefla, Goku versus Jiren the second time around, the teamwork that had to happen at the end of it to, you know, get what needed to be done. It was just a crazy arc. And my number 4, I actually have the Infinity Castle arc from Demon Slayer, which we obviously just went and watched that in theaters not too long ago. And after we watched it in theaters, I think I spent the next 2 or 3 hours the next day reading the rest of the Infinity Castle arc and finishing Demon Slayer. And I personally love the entire Infinity Castle arc, including the stuff that hasn't came out yet. The upcoming fight, probably one of my favorite scenes. It includes one of my favorite characters and someone close to him, and it was just a great scene. Then coming in at number 3, I have Jeju Island arc from Solo Leveling. I was just starting to get into anime when I was staying with Justice, and I was playing video games, and I happened to look over my shoulder when Jinwoo happened to start fighting Biru. And when I tell you I've never seen anything about Solo Leveling, and I was getting chills down my spine, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? Let me get onto this. It was a great fight. Then my number 2, I have the Shinjaku Showdown arc, which is basically Gojo versus Sukuna, put it in simple terms. It's pretty much all it is, and that's my favorite character in all of anime. And I personally think when that fight gets animated, it's going to be one of the best fights to like ever be dropped at that time. And then my number 1, which I think is actually going to be a surprise to all of you, I don't think any of you would have guessed this, is the Job Change Quest arc from Solo Leveling. If you remember that, that's basically when Jinwoo starts to become the Shadow Monarch when he has to fight Igris. The reason I liked that arc so much is because at no point in time was Jinwoo ever stronger than Igris. And Igris knew that, Jinwoo knew that. But basically, what won Egress over was Jinwoo not ever wanting to give up and to sacrifice himself to put himself on the line to succeed. And when he was finally succeeding, I remember I got up and started yelling with him in my room. I was so hyped for him. I was like, yeah, let's go. And yeah, it's probably my favorite arc.
That
Favorite arc so far.
yeah, so that
So far,
surprises me.
I will say it. By far.
You got a lot more One Piece to watch, brother.
Until I watch Marineford, it's number
You
one.
got a lot more One Piece to
So-
watch, brother.
Still got Bleach, Naruto. I got so much stuff.
Sean, did anything surprise you there on that one?
Job change quest for sure.
So
I thought that one was
that
random.
yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
like I know you, and I'm like, that's crazy.
So I thought, look, like hearing your list, I definitely thought the Goju Sukuna fight was going to be number one. And after hearing your reasoning for the job change one, I like that. That's pretty cool, and that's you really see Jinwoo's character evolve there in a short time. But if you think about,
Personally, think that's the biggest jump he makes in the
Yeah.
entire series by far.
so I
I
have
think that quest right there was basically going to determine if he was going to be the next in line for the Shadow Monarch or if he was dead. Like Egress wasn't going to let him live. It's either he had to step up and do that
right.
or he was completely going to die. Egress was not going to let him live.
And that's the thing. And Solo Leveling and JJK, I'm not caught up yet in the manga. So like I'm probably like 30 chapters away from the Gojo fight, and Solo Leveling I'm only caught up to the animation. Well, I'm still a ways. Yeah, I'm close. So,
You're like 10 over, brother. That's
But-
why I keep trying to push you to
Yeah.
read it. You're like at 210.
but the cool thing about Solo Leveling is even the stuff in the animation we've seen so far, like even the small little arcs that they've had, like when he went for like a little time being to be like I don't know, an excavation guy, and then he ended up going
Yeah.
into that A rank dungeon.
Uh,
And,
so he can get it on his belt.
yeah, see, like even those little arcs are really cool. So I definitely thought it was cool that you went with those ones. And then I also liked your list too because it's all really semi-recent stuff, and so I'm curious to see as you watch more stuff how it evolves in the future too. We might have to revisit it later on. But
I
your
do
list.
think that that's a really good point as well that Justice just said because, like he just said, it is literally all current stuff. So some of these older animes that he's now exploring because he's branching out to new animes, I think your list will change in
Well,
the future.
also, just think about this. I mean, I tried to pick only one from every single anime. Obviously, Solo Leveling got two. Besides one other anime, I've only watched like 6 total animes, so there's not
Yeah.
much for me to pick from
True.
besides spoilers. So
Yeah,
we
100%.
visit this in like a year time when I watch like another 10, 15 shows, and then we'd have to have that conversation. But like,
Yeah.
hold mine with like a grain of salt. But that's my list for now. Like you did
I think
say.
it's a solid
I'm
list. Though.
I'm surprised you didn't have any Black Clover arcs on yours though.
I've only watched 16 episodes of Black Clover.
Yeah,
I'm
so he
hardly
hasn't
into
gotten
Black
there,
Clover. So
gotten far
I
enough.
have
Okay.
liked a lot of Black. I still remember everything I've watched about Black Clover, and I still like everything about it. It's just I really started to fall in love with One Piece at the time, so I
Mhm.
kind of kicked Black Clover to the the back burner while I started watching One Piece because I think I got to like episode 16 of Black Clover when I was on like episode 40 of One Piece, and I'm on like episode 160 something now.
Oh, making good progress.
I'm getting into Skypiea, as I said earlier, and I'm getting close to Water 7. I'm really excited to get into Water 7. I know Justice doesn't want me to like fly through Skypiea for that, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I love both of those arcs. I really feel like I didn't talk. I won't get into it now, but I feel like I didn't talk about it enough when Midas brought it up. But all right, so yeah, I loved your list, Landon. I think it's cool because even though a lot of those are newer, they're also just heat. Like the Tournament Power is awesome. Jeju Island I thought was a little bit funny because it's just the Command Ant arc, but in Solo Leveling. But
Yeah.
it's fire though. It's an awesome way of doing it. So I'll go ahead and get into my list now. I didn't when I was writing them down. I didn't put them in any order, but I'll try my best when I go through it here. So my favorite or my honorable mention I have the Return to Shiganshina arc. Like I said earlier, I was kind of debating between, uh, some of those arcs for AOT. I felt like I had to at least get it in the honorable mentions, but we get one of the biggest payoffs in the show. I feel like, uh, going back to a certain place in that arc, I feel like you get a lot of big moments in there, and it kind of feels like if it's not the climax, it's like the last bit of the rising action in the story. So I love that arc. Um, I think that for me, it just wasn't quite enough to get in the top five. And my list excludes a lot of stuff. I don't think I have Dragon Ball in here. I didn't put any JoJo's. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't put. So for my number five, I'm probably gonna go with the tuning exams from Naruto. I love the tuning exams. Gara was one of my favorite characters growing up. Um, and he obviously, that's like his big arc where you first get introduced to him. You also get some of the coolest fights. I feel like that's why I really fell in love with Shikamaru and his fight versus Tamari. And I thought that early Naruto had a lot of strategy that you kind of lost later on in Shippuden. But some of the best fights ever in anime, I feel like, were in that. Um, and then going on my list, I would say number four is Greed Island from Hunter x Hunter. And then I've got Soul Society arc from Bleach. Number two, I've got Marineford as well. And then one, I've got the Golden Age arc from Berserk.
Mm.
So,
Alright.
go ahead. What's your guys' reaction to that list?
I'm not surprised that you put Berserk first. I mean, it's your all-time favorite anime, so that is definitely expected. Honestly, I've watched Berserk, but it was so long ago that it came out that I would have to refresh my memory exactly as to what that arc is. Maybe you can help me out.
So
But
do you remember the Eclipse?
mm,
Do you remember Griffith?
not off. Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
do you remember what happens with Griffith?
yes.
So
I believe
basically,
so.
that entire story is him joining the Red Hawks and getting to know Griffith, and then the fallout of that and the ending of that.
Yes, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of my favorites. I won't get too much into it because I know that you guys haven't seen that, but anything surprise you on the list?
I think I was surprised that you had Greed Island instead of
So
the
yes,
Chimera.
that was the one I was excited for you. That was one of the ones on my list here that I was excited for you to react to because I love. Obviously, we were talking about earlier. I love York New and the Chimera and Anarch. Those are two of my favorite. Um, I mean, I love that show, so I, those are amazing. But Greed Island, for like some reason, will like hold a special place in my heart because I think that it's overlooked, and it just is like 30 episodes of something that's completely different than the regular show, but I feel like has merit and teaches the characters in different ways. And I feel like growing up, I liked playing like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff like that. So like having a trading
Yeah.
card game, watching that growing up, I thought was cool. Um,
I think I think that arc is insane for the fact that like it is just so different from the anime.
it is. It completely is.
However, it fits so well though.
Yeah.
Like the transition between the arcs fit
It's a really
seemingly
good training
like seemingly yeah.
I feel like it's like a top tier training arc. And
Yeah, I can agree 100%
that's
with
one
that.
thing with me that you guys will see on the show is a lot of people overlook and don't like training arcs. I really do. So I don't have too many on my list, but the Soul Society is too. So I put Marineford on there, obviously, because you guys know.
Yeah.
One Piece is actually my favorite. Berserk's second, but I do think that Berserk, that arc is just a masterclass of writing, and I think that the Griffith like transition during the eclipse is crazy. But yeah, I think those are some pretty fire arcs if you ask me.
I'm surprised that you have the Soul Society arc on there though, instead of so many of the like. What did you mean by Society specifically? Like the
thinking about
beginning?
like when basically it would be like when they're trying to save Rukia. So when he learns Bankai,
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't spoilers. That's just the name of something. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah,
I'm
that
reading. I'm not
ba-
taking any chance.
basically
I'm not
the
ruining
intro
my
there where
experience.
he gets dropped into the Soul Society after he gets
Sean, put your hand up
to
when
be
you're
like
done
a
talking about
substitute
Bleach.
Soul Reaper. That up to like them leaving
You
with
asshole.
Rukia and like everything before the bounce. I would say that's like the Soul Society arc. But I love that arc. It's kind of nostalgic for me because I watched it when I was in high school. So there's probably an element of that to it too. But I
See,
don't know.
for me, I think Bleach is really good, 100%. However, I think the Espada arc is just better than the Soul
That's
Society arc. You
fair.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's fair. I just think the intro to like
so many of the
Kenpachi.
characters I just like more, and you get to see more Bankais. Like there's just so much more to it.
Well, I think part of it for me is I love Kenpachi. He's my favorite character in the show, and you get his introduction there. You get an introduction to a lot of the captains. I feel like there's just like a lot of tension early on in that show, and that's
Yeah.
in that arc. It feels like the highest amount of tension you can have. And I actually like growing up when I watched it in high school, I was like, man, are they actually going to succeed? Like, is she going to, or it's something happened, right? So like
Yeah.
yeah, so
Forgot I could talk about.
No, those are very good points though. I mean, like when you put it like that, it makes me see that arc more in itself.
right.
But
I feel like
yeah.
honestly, like I love Bleach. There are some lulls and stuff in the middle, and I like what they're doing with the Thousand Year Blood War. But I feel like the very beginning of that show is just like it grabs you, and that arc
Yeah,
definitely
100%.
definitely did it for me. But yeah, so we kind of
Big
talked
three for
about
a reason.
yeah. So we talked about our favorite arcs, and I feel like that's a good way to get to know some more of the stories that we like. But this is something I'm really interested to see because I think that villains show another side of like what kind of interest people might have in characters. So I'm curious to see what you guys' favorite top 5 villains are. And start off again, I'll start with Midas.
Okay. Top 5 villains. So, I feel like some people might love my list. I feel like some people might hate my list. Not just with us in the call, but just in the anime community in general. I have my honorable mention as Madara. I think he's an anime that you cannot like. He's an anime villain that you cannot overlook ever. Literally a powerhouse. Like a lot of people scaled other characters to Madara for his time. Obviously, nowadays we have Gojo and other ones that you like compare him to, but Madara was the main character that people compared other anime villains to. The reason I have him for honorable mention, though, I don't love his story as much as the other villains that I have on my list, in my opinion.
Mm.
And segueing into that, I think what makes a good anime villain is someone that I can see myself in a sense. Like I see their pain, I see their suffering, I see their problem with the world, and I can relate to it. But knowing that antagonist also has counter reasons to that where it like contradicts each other. I love that back and forth. That being said, my number 5 is going to be Light Yagami from Death Note. Some people don't think he's the villain. Some people think he's the antagonist. It's hard to say. In my opinion, he's a villain, and he's a great villain. Number 4, Justice You'll Like This. I have Aizen from Bleach. Cannot go without him on the top list. Number 3, I think you'll like this one as well. I have Miriam from Hunter x Hunter. His growth, his development, his birth, spoilers, like all around just an all-time favorite villain for me. Number 2, Don Quixote do Flamingo from One Piece. So well written, had a 3-year arc about this character, basically. Just iconic villain, honestly, in my opinion. Surprisingly enough, though, my number 1 villain is going to be Pain / Nagato from Naruto. I just loved his story. He technically didn't get beaten. He
Talk no jutsu.
literally shaped the verse. Like, just all around one of the greatest of all times, in my opinion.
Well, I think that list is fire. You guys have any reactions to that?
I think the list is heat. I will say though, I respect it, but why Madara only honorable mention?
Because listen, comparatively to Pain and Nagato, like Pain / Nagato, he had so much more suffering than Madara, in my opinion. Like Madara, like okay, spoilers for you, Lyndon. Sorry,
This
brother,
isn't really
but I have to
spoilers.
address this question. Yeah, but
It's also kind of
Hope
hard.
you're
It's
not
been out
watching
for
it.
so long.
so Madara was seeking revenge the whole time and plotting, right?
Right.
Which I mean, I guess you could say the same thing with Nagato, but he was also working with Nagato. So, like, in my opinion, if Madara really wanted to like enact his revenge, he could have done it way sooner.
That is true.
So, like, I just think like I don't think he had better reasons to be a villain than Nagato had better reasons to be a villain, in my
So,
opinion.
Okay.
I think
I see what you're saying.
that
Go ahead.
this is going to be a spoiler, Lana. If you want to cover yours for this one, this is big. But anyone who hasn't watched Naruto, this is a little bit of a spoiler. But I think that every single Uchiha that comes after Madara has a more fleshed out and full story. I think that Madara was kind of like the puppeteer pulling the puppet strings of all these guys. He's like the godfather kind of character, which is cool in its own right. But like Obito, for instance, had way more character development. I had way more of an emotional attachment to him. Obviously, Itachi and Sasuke, like all 3 of those, I love Madara, but I would say like those characters are more fleshed out. You know.
That was perfectly worded in my opinion. Like that was what I was trying to get at, but you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's how everybody feels. Like, the Uchihas are freaking sick. So, Landon, do you have anything to say about his list? It's pretty
I
good.
mean,
I mean,
yeah, I don't
so
understand.
I definitely have some more to say.
80% of the list I haven't watched yet, so
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't give
True.
too much of an
I guess-
opinion.
sorry, brother.
Characters, but like I can't do much. Like all I can say, Miriam, that damn rat. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know
No, that's fair. I guess I didn't
No,
realize
of them.
that. Yeah, I think
You
every
got-
single
you-
one
I'm
of these,
sorry, give me
every
some
single one
time.
of
I'll
these
be
you
able
haven't
to-
seen yet.
I promise.
Yeah, sorry, brother. It's just
No. Like I said, I do know most of those characters. I know of them. Like I know of Madara. I know of Pain. Like those 2, I'd have to be living under like a semi truck to not know them. I know Miriam. I know Light. Who else did you say?
Aizen.
Doflamingo.
Doflamingo.
I'm extremely excited to learn all about Aizen. Like I said, I am reading through Bleach. And then what was the last one?
Doflamingo.
Doflamingo was my second, and then I have White.
He's heard of him.
I have seen a little bit of him, like I said in One Piece, because there was a little
Yeah.
scene with the government where they were trying to find out who was going to be the best fit for the new
You
warlord.
saw his
So I did see a
power,
little
too.
bit. Of Flamingo. I did see his power.
You did, but you don't know what it is. You saw him manipulate people somehow.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, but yeah. So I do know, like I said, I know of all of your characters, but I can't give an opinion because I don't know too much about them.
So I have plenty to
That's
say.
fair.
I obviously love Doflamingo. He's one of my favorite characters. Like, not just villains, just an awesome all around character. I think he has some of the coldest speeches in all of like anime. So I'm excited to see he's on your list. Obviously, Aizen, like Landon said, even if you're not a fan of anime or even not a fan of Bleach or haven't seen it, if you're in the anime community, you know who Aizen is. Um, that's a spoiler. That's just saying his name basically. So I love that you had him. I also loved Miriam. Um, I mean, Lan, if you want to think of like who Miriam is, just think Biru, but more fleshed out. So that Chimeran Anarch is very similar to Jeju Island, but I mean that character is sick. I think there's a lot of depth there, and like I said earlier, it's only like what 20, 30 episodes.
Anime Biru, correct?
What's that?
Anime Biru, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, so think about it like
I'm just
Like-
saying, manga Biru a little bit different. Manga Biru probably solos Hunter x Hunter's universe.
hey, see, but that's the thing though. It's correlating to Biru though. That because
well, if
a little bit of a spoiler, but I'll go into the character depth.
I'm just debating. I'm just
So he was born to be the king. Same thing with Biru.
Okay.
You gathered all these strong, powerful what's the word I'm looking for?
like
Allies.
ants or like a hive mind basically deal.
Yeah.
Army.
No, but what was the what do you call
The guards.
is it hunters? Is it hunters?
Yeah, the
From
Hunters
Solo Leveling?
Oh, they're both hunters.
Yeah.
So-
Association.
So just to not to interrupt too much, but the writer for Solo Leveling has stated that he's a massive fan of Hunter x Hunter. So like hunters being called hunters, that comes from him, and he also stated like Jeju Island is being inspired by it. So you
Oh
can,
yeah,
you can
and
definitely see
Biru
it.
probably is 100% inspired by it.
Yeah. I just think
agree
Miriam
on
is
that.
more fleshed out. Like I love Biru, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, and he might get fleshed out more on. I'm not sure because I haven't gotten that far.
I'm telling you right now, he's probably my favorite Shadow after
Really?
reading the rest of the manga and reading the following Solo Leveling Ragnarok. By far, in my opinion, one of the best and funny characters in all of Solo Leveling. Great character. His humor is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah,
But yeah, so think Biru, but think Biru as the main antagonist. So like a whole story behind him as well for a whole arc.
right. Yeah, he was honestly like a pseudo protagonist. But
Yeah.
Light, I think I completely agree with you. I would say that he is the antagonist in the story, which is awesome because like that entire show is like a philosophical mind game, you know, going back and forth between Light and L and what's right and wrong and all that.
Mhm.
And so I think Light is just one of like the evil geniuses that you would like when you think of evil mastermind, that's the guy who comes to mind when you talk about anime, I think. So
Mhm.
yeah, I love your list. I'm kind of worried how much crossover we have on this one. But Sean, if you want to go ahead with your list.
Yeah. So my list is gonna be. It's a little over the place, but there is going to be one person in particular on my list that may be a spoiler. So let me get it started. We have I'm gonna start off the list. Top five villain for me will be Sukuna. Sukuna is definitely top five villain. Um I mean, like I said earlier, I was never really a huge AJK fan, but Sukuna is a badass character that knows everything that he like. He's just legit. He's a dope character. I love him. I think he's dope. Um, Another top five villain. It's got to be. I got Madara in my top five. I think Madara's up there. He's a sick villain. I think he's pretty like you said earlier, Midas, he's one of those guys, he just does it for the love of the game. Like he really doesn't have a true I don't know. Like it feels like he doesn't have like a true drive for what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm just doing it for the love of the game. Like,
Which is respectable, you know what I mean? If you like that in a villain, like 100%. Like,
yeah. Next I got Frieza. Frieza's a top 5 villain for me. Um, I know there's a little bit of character development towards the end, like towards like the end of Super, but not much enough to where I'm gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna become an anti-hero. No, he's still a villain for sure. But um, next, this one might be a little bit of spoiler, but the next, I'm not gonna say the name, but the next character is a character within the Chainsaw Man Reed's arc.
I know who you're talking about.
You guys will be very excited.
I
Very,
have,
very, very,
I have,
very, 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 very,
I
very
have
excited.
not seen it yet.
Yeah,
It's gotta be, bro.
I don't think any of us have
No.
watched it yet, right? Or have you guys watched it?
Hey, all I'm saying is it better not be this. Oh, I'll be fucking heated. I'll tell you right now. I will be mad.
You talking about the Fox though?
No, the guy that uses it.
Oh, you talking about
Not saying
Aki.
name. All right, let's just say names.
We all know the characters and the names
Has he
here.
watched it?
Mhm.
He's watched the
Oh,
first
okay.
one. He's watched first season 1. Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
we
so
met
that's the
this
thing.
character?
Don't feel too bad for
No,
not
we have not
spoiling
met this
too.
character yet. That's why I haven't said it. That's why I haven't said it. We haven't met this character yet. That's the only reason why I haven't said her name.
Is that a
Her name,
large
okay.
But we're
wave?
all we're all gonna we're all getting ready to see the movie soon. So,
Yeah. Does that have to
but
do with
this
a large
character is
wave?
extremely. Say that again.
Does that have to do with a large wave?
I wish.
Okay, I just
But
didn't.
kinda. But kinda.
Okay.
All right, what's the next one, Sean? We need to get back on topic.
But yes, but I'm also going to put Light Yagami.
Yep.
I gotta put Light up there. Light is just a mastermind villain. It's one of those where it's like Death Note is it's one of those animes where you can you feel like you can legitimately apply it to real world. Even though the Death Note book is kind of outlandish, but like going throughout the minds of Light and L and realizing like his story, the reason why he's doing it, what he envisions is I think that was really, really good. And I like it a lot. I love this character and his villain a lot too. That was good.
All right. So I think that was a pretty good list. You guys have any reactions?
I wish in this moment that I have watched DBZ more because I see clips and things of Frieza all the time. So I know he might be like up there in my list as well if I had watched it because I think he correlates really well to your sentiment with the Madara being on your list where it's just like for the love of the game, like he's just fucking here to mess it up, you know.
So I feel like
Yeah.
Frieza,
So
even more so with that, is the case. Like even more so than Madara, he just likes to go out
yeah,
scrapping. Anytime Goku gets a little bit better, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to die, come back, and be stronger and beat you." You know, like he's awesome. But yeah, and I loved your list. I mean, we got Light again. That's like, what can you say about him? We said enough. He's he's a
Yeah.
great character, one of the best characters in anime. And I feel like Death Note, for a lot of people who are just getting into anime, is kind of like a starter one for a lot of people. So, it's just one of the goats. It's easy to have on there. Sukuna, I think, is also a good one too. Um, I don't know the extent of which Sukuna is a good one. Obviously, I've only seen him through the animation, and then really what I've read so far doesn't have too much of him in it yet. So I'm excited to kind of see like how his story pans out, and then obviously um, we have the new manga that just came out, so I'm curious to see how his character evolves through that as well, if it does. So yeah, Landon, did you want to go ahead with your list?
All right, so my honorable mention, I put Jiren.
Now, for the reason why I put Jiren is because I don't think he's a villain at all. He's not a villain. I think anti-protagonist and villain are two different things. I don't think just because someone's an anti-protagonist automatically makes them a villain. That's just my personal take because personally, if Goku and Jiren were in the same universe, I think they would be friends and would train together personally. But that's just me. But getting into my list, I'm going to start off with a One Piece character, actually. I have Crocodile coming in at number 5.
Let's
I've
go.
only seen Alabasta arc.
sick.
I've only seen him in the Alabasta arc. I haven't seen him later on when he joins like the Cross Guild, and I know I'm not supposed to know that. Don't kill me. But anyways, in the Alabasta arc, it was just like the first time, in my opinion at least, within One Piece that like it really seemed like the Straw Hats were actually had a chance to lose. Like I don't think any time throughout the show, like in Arlong Park or against Captain Kuro or the Baratier, I don't think at any point in time you're like, I don't know if they're gonna make this one out. Besides when Zoro fought Mihawk.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking.
I was like, wait a second, hold on a second.
Sorry, Zoro had to catch a stray for that, but yeah, no. Besides that, you don't really see any trouble. And then Crocodile was actually like the first one to cause the Straw Hats some problems. It was just really cool to see how well he like actually had a mastermind plan behind it, and he wasn't actually trying to take it by brute force, which is what most people would have probably tried to do. But he actually tried to use his brain, which I thought was really cool. My fourth person, I feel like a lot of people overlook this character as a villain. I got Beerus. Now, I really don't think a lot of people, when they think of Beerus, they're like, oh yeah, he's 100% a villain, It's like, if you kind of remember when Dragon Ball Super starts with Beerus and stuff, every time Beerus was on the screen, there was like this eerie, dark music that always kind of made it feel like there was an unsettling presence about him, and it just wasn't just a normal person. And then, like, I mean, Goku went Super Saiyan 3, which he was able to get through all of Dragon Ball Z with, and got absolutely one-tapped. Like, come on now, that's a villain. Even though, like, later on in Super, he becomes, like, a mentor to Goku and Vegeta, that's still a villain, and it's a pretty good villain in my personal opinion. My third spot, I also have another Dragon Ball character. I have Frieza on the list. I mean, if you watch anime or if you don't watch anime, I'm pretty sure you know who Frieza is. Like, I mean, he's just such a popular villain. Like, it's kind of hard not to have him in your list. My number 2 villain, I actually have Akaza. And in the Infinity Castle movie, I personally think his backstory was one of like the best backstories any villain has ever got for a redemption backstory. So it wasn't like necessarily a backstory to make you feel bad for him. It was a backstory to show you why he was like this and why he didn't want to be like this anymore and why he did give it up and change for the better. Which I thought it was a really cool swing full circle, especially considering he was like engulfed in power for 200 plus years as a demon. It was kind of cool to see him finally give up. And then my number 1 spot, I have Sukuna. I mean, it's no surprise he was in my top 5 favorite characters in all of anime. So I personally think Sukuna is one of the best villains I've seen personally. He's a psycho. All he wants to do is destroy everything. He's funny as well. For example, the Shibuya incident. He pulled up on Panda and them all fighting after Jogo released his meteor. Mind you, he was whooping Jogo's ass the entire time. And then Jogo releases a strongest attack, and then he walks all the way to a different fate and says, none of you better move until I tell you to, or I'm going to kill you. Then he waited for the meteor about to go off, and he said, now you can go. And somehow they all live, but like he really does it for the love of the game. Actually, he don't even do it for the love of the game. He just does it because he's bored.
Dude, when he said that and he caught Panda and what's his name in the alleyway, he said, everyone within 100-meter radius cannot move or I will kill you. And then, like, 100 meters, bro, no one
Hey,
moved.
The worst part is, he wasn't lying. Like, they knew better. They knew better. The only person that would have stopped him in that moment, unfortunately, got sealed. R.I.P.
Hey, August 31st, Satoru
August-
Gojo gets sealed.
October 31st, but yeah.
I
You
do.
know what I meant.
I really like your list, Landon, because I like that you have different reasons for a lot of your villains. You know what I mean? They're very different from
Right.
like the ones that you have listed. So like you have like Crocodile,
This is what you
and
mean.
then
Same character.
Crocodile at your bottom and then Sukuna at your top. Like that's a crazy switch up, you know what I mean? Because they're completely different. And I like that. I really like that list.
So I too
Yeah,
like the list as
W
well.
list.
I think that, like Midas was saying, you got Crocodile, who's like this evil mastermind. And I think Crocodile. A lot of people hate on like the Orange Town arc with Kuro. Everyone hates Kuro, right? They say
A great reason.
yeah,
That arc
he
is
had,
horrible.
Like, he had
That
terrible. He
Captain
had like
Kuro
a million
terrible.
plans. None of them
We'll talk about
figured out.
Captain Kuro in a little bit, I promise.
Well, listen. So he had all these plans, and they never panned out, right? And you see Crocodile have this master plan that he's pulled all these strings, orchestrated for years, and it's cool. Like it elevates his character, having just seen a character where it didn't work. Also, too, Sukuna, like he was saying, that is a villain who is just like an overwhelming presence. His amount of like evil and power is like overwhelming, and that's like a really cool villain as well, an entirely different spectrum, you know.
I mean, to put it into perspective, Sukuna is a human being who is called the King of Curses. That's how afraid people were of him.
Right.
Curses are something you can't even see as a normal human being unless you're a jujitsu sorcerer. He was called the king of all curses because of how evil he was as a human being.
Right.
Great character.
Yeah. And then you said Beerus as well, right?
Yes, I did. Beerus is number
I
4.
think Beerus is in like a very good middle ground too, right? Because it's like kind of anti-hero. Not, it's a villain too, and
I disagree. I personally think Beerus is still strictly villain. Even like I said, even with his relationship with Goku and Vegeta, if shit hit the fan, he's killing both of them. He's not letting them live if it's gonna cost him his life. You're crazy if you think that.
do you think that
So like
Whis has that same
you
idea?
gotta realize,
Do you think
Whis does not care. Whis is not there for emotions or anything like that. Whis is just there for order for the god. He's there to help
Right.
the god work, basically. So he is only in charge. The person he listens to is wearing the god uniform. It's not Beerus in particular. It's just Beerus right now. But if like Beerus, because you got to realize the prophecy of the fish, the oracle fish, told Beerus that a Saiyan god was going to come and kill Beerus and be his rival.
Right.
If Goku and Vegeta start to get to that point and he don't want to go,
That's
he's
a fair,
gonna kill them.
That's a fair point.
It's not like there's no rebuttal. It's just not gonna happen any other way. Beerus is going to kill them if it comes to it.
Well,
He's just using, like he's basically like, what's the word I'm looking? Grooming them, basically.
You know,
To
what's
put it in
funny
simple
is I
terms,
just
grooming
realized, but Beerus is very similar to Mihawk. Like his relationship with Zoro, how they're like rivals, and like when shit hits the fan, you know, they would be enemies. But there's also like a like teacher student relationship as well, where you know he's teaching them and you know trying to keep them at bay. So
I was gonna say the same thing. I liked him being on your list for that reason alone. Like I like the switch up, whereas like they are still a villain. However, they're also helping in the verse. Like I think that's a really, really different, unique take on a villain.
I don't know how some people will consider Jiren a villain, but then be like, oh yeah, no, Beerus isn't a villain. It's like, what?
no, that's fair.
How are you
that's
gonna?
a good point.
Like, the God of Destruction has no relationship to any single person in any universe. He will kill you if he wants to. There's no ifs or ands about it.
He's kind of like Sukuna in that instance. Like he has overwhelming power that like the matters of these small beings on these planets mean nothing to him at the end of the day. I was just curious.
He's basically
because,
watching the show, like
Yeah.
front row. That's basically what he's doing right now.
Because it does seem like in the show, at least, I don't know if in the manga it's like it, but it seems like he is developing kind of like, you know, like a friend. I definitely, Whis and Bulma are friends, but like they do seem to have an attachment to the Saiyans. So I think that's cool. I'm curious to see if that will change Beerus's arc in the future. Like if he would say save Goku and like give up himself for that.
Maybe I get proven wrong in future Dragon Ball arcs, but
Yeah.
at the moment,
At the moment,
that man's
yes,
still a villain.
absolutely. Your argument is sound. Well, do you guys want to move on to my list then?
Absolutely not.
I'm
Let's just
ready. I'm ready for it, brother.
All right,
Go ahead,
so I'll
Justice.
start with my honorable mention, and like Landon, I went with someone who it was really hard for me to say if they were a villain or not. And I'll give you my reasoning. So mine is going to be Roxy Zebek. This is a character that I've loved for almost a decade. Um, like watching the show and reading it for a long time, Rox was considered to be a villain. He was someone who Garp and Roger had to team up together to take down. You didn't know why. Obviously, we're learning a little bit more in God Valley now. But for a long time, he was this character that was just like kind of on the fray of the show. And then now, as you're getting more in God Valley, you're starting to realize that he was always there. That he's, Kaido and Big Mom, you know, that was their mentor. Those are two giants in the show that Luffy is like this little tiny speck to at one point. And so those guys being subordinates of him, Whitebeard, you know, growing up, I just thought that he was an incredible character, and to see what he's becoming now through God Valley and what I project him to be in the future, like he's just an awesome character. So I had to give him an honorable mention for that. I would say probably 5 on my list has to be Stained from My Hero. So I'm not a huge My Hero fan. I have watched it. I haven't watched the new season yet. I'm definitely going to jump into it. But for a long time, My Hero wasn't my favorite show. And I just felt like it was kind of like a retelling of some of my favorite stuff, just a little bit watered down. I feel like as the show has progressed into like the last 3 seasons, it's gotten way better. And I feel like that's because it's taken on like a more dark tone. So Stained was one of those like first villains in the show that made me actually like really like it. He had a really interesting philosophy where he was called the hero killer. He would only kill heroes, which we have these characters that we love and we think are like virtuous and everything. He saw them as like a disease plaguing society because people put their false hope in them, and these heroes don't actually turn out to be who they are when push comes to shove. So he, in his mind, was um, protecting society from these false idols, basically. And I thought that that was really a cool philosophy, and his character was really cool. So he's number 5. Uh, and then I went with Askeladd from Vinland Saga. I think that the dynamic between Thorfinn and Askeladd is one of the coolest dynamics to have between two characters. I won't spoil too much, but um, Thorfinn basically has to work for Askeladd against his will, and Askeladd did something very, very bad to him. So it's basically torture throughout the entire time. Throughout that arc, though, Askeladd starts to teach him things and doesn't quite become like a father figure, but in some ways, Thorfinn definitely sees him that way. So he's one of my favorites. Um, After that, I went with Miriam as well. So that's why I was laughing when you had brought him up. I think we talked about him a good bit earlier. I just feel like his arc is just so incredible. And I mean, I never thought watching chess would be so interesting, So I think he's a good character. But my number 2, I don't know that Midas might have seen this, but I don't know if you guys have. It's Dio from JoJo's. I think that
I have not
I know
seen it.
who it is, though.
yeah. So Dio, for like if you're an anime fan, a lot of people know who he is. He's like a meme amongst the community. But I actually think if you like look at him as a villain, he is a prototypical villain. And when you um, watch like the different seasons, obviously his character changes. So it's really cool to see the same character just in different, places and how he is. He's just crazy. But my last one it's kind of a letdown because Midas took my thunder. Mine's also Doflamingo. So I just think that he is so good. I won't get into it. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but Doflamingo is like probably my top 5 villains of all time, including like comics, like any sort of like fiction at all. I think that he's like a top 5 villain in my opinion. So yeah, that's our list there for favorite villains. I think that we had some good ones there. Did you guys have any takes on mine?
I had a couple takes on yours. I liked that you kind of resembled Landon's in the sense of like where like the Vinland Saga, the Askeladd, how he is kind of training Thorfinn in a
Right.
way too,
Yep.
knowing that it will haunt him in the future.
Yep.
Like, and then same could be said with all the other characters that we were like training, that we were talking about training, like the Jiren training the other two.
I think that's a
And
trope that you see a lot is the mentee, or I guess that's kind of like the whole the son's trying to defeat the father sort of mentality. And I think you see that a lot in Eastern philosophy. Is that
yeah,
even if it's at their downfall, a father always wants to see his son better.
I did think about putting Askeladd on my list. The only reason I didn't put him on my list personally is because yes, he was a villain to Thorfinn, but I think if you look at it as a whole too, like in that time and like in that time and in his like living situation and based on the story, that was his like way of survival too,
Oh yeah.
in a way. So like he kind of had to be that way.
Well, I think you see it from two and that's why the show is so good too, because you see it from both perspectives. Like Askeladd, it's kind of unfortunate what has to happen, right? Their orders, but Thorfinn, being a kid, he just sees the bad thing that happened, and then that's the person he hates for the rest of his life. So like, I think that's what adds depth to it is you get to see the two different perspectives. But
Yeah.
so,
And then
go ahead.
I think going off of the Miriam thing too, that we didn't really talk about either, I think the fact that he changes is also what makes him a really good villain too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's another thing that we didn't really talk about with some of these other villains, how he in particular changes his character to a sense where again it's not necessarily even a villain anymore at that point.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah, we were
he
kind
starts
of
off as a villain,
right.
but
We were kind of talking about how like you almost become a pseudo protagonist, and it's cool because like
Yeah.
I think you see a lot in One Piece where um, a villain antagonist will change based off of what the protagonist shows them. I think that's perfect for shonen because you're constantly having new enemies that the protagonist is having to beat, and Dragon Ball is a perfect example of how like a villain can one day actually be on the protagonist's team at one point. A lot of the Straw Hats at one point were enemies. So, but well, guys, let's move on. We've got one more kind of topic that I want to talk about, and this one's probably going to be the most fun one. So I want to hear your guys' least favorite villains. Obviously, you got your greats, the ones that everybody knows and loves. But I want to hear the ones that you guys can't stand seeing on screen. And we'll have Midas start.
Okay. So I kind of took this like a funny route in a sense, like where Justice literally just said, I just don't like them. Like I don't like their character. Like I do like not necessarily that I don't like their character, but like I also hate them. Like I like hate them. So I don't know how many of you have seen this one. Like I don't even Justice, I don't even know if you've watched this anime. But I have Rachel from Tower of God. I hate her. Hater, 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 hater. I could explain, but it would be a spoiler. So if none of you guys have seen it, just know, hate that character.
Yeah, I have
Now.
not. I've started that, haven't seen enough to really know who that is, so we'll skip that one for now.
My number 5, and Landon and you guys, like this one probably gonna upset Landon a little bit. My number 5, I have Mahito.
Oh shit!
I cannot stand Mahito. I hate him. I don't like him. I just don't like him. I don't like Mahito personally. Do I think he's a cool character? Sure. Do I like him though?
Hey,
Not
just
at
get
all.
going with this. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I have
Now,
something to say too.
my number 4, kind of the same concept with my list, Kabuto from Naruto. Like, oh, he irks me. It's like such a character that could have been so much better, but it just wasn't. Like, I just don't like him. I hate it. I wish he was a better villain. Number 3, Justice is gonna like this one. Also, this one's kind of a spoiler. Akainu. Oh, I hate him.
That's
Hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him. Hate him. Hate him. Hate that character.
That's amazing.
Number 2. Justice is gonna like this one as well. I got Neferpitu from Hunter x Hunter.
Gosh, that's awesome.
God, I hate that character. Hate that character so much. And now number 1 is kind of a funny one for me. I hate this character every time I see it, every time I remember it. I just hate it, and I wish it didn't exist. I hate Wapol from One Piece.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, cool list. Now, what about Mahito that you don't like?
I just don't like him, man. I think he's
No,
cringy.
I
I
need
think
to
he's
what
weird.
don't you
I think he's
about?
annoying.
Oh, you just think
He's
he's annoying?
whiny. He's annoying. He's whiny. Like,
You do
I
know he's like a month old, right?
yeah,
That's
exactly.
what
I
he's
hate him.
supposed to be.
Okay, well, you like newborn babies?
Did I say that?
Okay, well, that's why I'm saying he's number 5 on my list for that reason. I can't stand him.
Crazy to me.
You like him. That's what you're saying. You like Mahito.
I didn't say I like him, but he's a good villain.
Fair enough. To each
Nope,
their
it's
own,
fine.
I guess, right? I knew
mean,
that
he
one would have
had
some controversy.
multiple people on the rope. So like, let's chill on my boy Mahito.
I'm
Act
not
like
saying he wasn't strong. I
Great-ass
just
villain.
hate him.
Hey, without him, Yuji don't become Yuji.
I mean, fair.
He don't have that fucking breakthrough and finally start killing shit.
I mean, you're right,
So
but
let's
I
chill
still
on
hate
my
him.
boy Mahito. Ass crack. I'm sorry.
I
that was
still hate him.
I do apologize. That's
So-
completely fair.
What's funny about that is I almost put Mahito in my favorite villains. I also almost put him in my least favorite villains. So the reason, so the reason why is my reason,
mean,
not to get too
when-
far away from your list, but the reason why is because I feel like Mahito is really easy to hate. Like, he's an incredible character. I love his character. I think he's insane. But like, there's so many moments that he's on the screen where when he touches someone, obviously he can kill them. And so I'm like gasping for air. Like, is he gonna fucking kill like someone we really care about? And that for me is a great villain. But I also hate him because he can take out, Nobara in an instant. So that's why he almost made both lists, but I just decided to leave him off. But
No, I mean, I agree with both those points as well. Like, I
He's-
think he is a strong character, and I think he's a good villain. I just also fucking hate him. Like,
I also fucking hate you. Go play on the highway.
so you said Akainu, Neferpito, and Wapol. What were the other two?
Fuck Akainu and fuck Waffle. Agree
I
with
think
both
you,
of them.
the last one, I think the only one that you didn't mention was Kabuto from Shippuden.
Kabuto. All right, so obviously I won't get too much into Akainu, but that's an easy character to hate. I think that there's a lot of depth.
My boy.
I think there's a lot of depth yet to be explored, especially with a lot of the like upper Marines. Like, Akainu really doesn't show up much. Like, there's years that he just is not there. So I think that's part of the reason why I hate him. And also too, when he is on the screen, I just want to punch a hole through his chest.
Yeah, literally.
So
Hey, spoilers.
hey, that was supposed to go under the radar, but
Dude, he did it to like 7 different fucking people.
yeah. Neferpito, also another easy character to hate. I mean, that's similar to like Wapple. I feel like
Yeah,
Wapple is just
Wapple
like
makes sense.
that's one of like the
Annoying.
waste of space kind of villains, right? Like he's an easy
Mhm.
adversary to overcome. I think that the Mountain in that arc is a harder opponent for Luffy than Wapple is. So
Literally.
so yeah,
Nami's a harder for Luffy than
yeah,
Wapple.
I love that list. I think that Kabuto too. I do like Kabuto a little bit. I feel like he, like Orochimaru, you either love him or hate him. I like him a little bit because I feel like um, he did play Orochimaru a little bit. Like you had this feeling like he was just this servant for the longest time, but then towards the end, it felt more so like he was trying to use his relationship with Orochimaru to get him resources for his own stuff.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
Bump Kabuto.
Yeah, but hear me out though. At the end of the day, Orochimaru was still ahead of him.
Because he's that
Kabuto,
guy.
bitch.
Orochimaru is that
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying though?
Fuck those
Like
shit,
that's
John.
why I
Fuck those
hate Kabuto, because like he had so many options to do other things and be so much better, but he just wasn't. He was always
It was
like,
surgical,
second.
Jay. It was
So we
surgical
hating on
damage,
Mahito
Jay.
for being 2 weeks old. All right, sorry, you don't know how to fucking live yet. Assholes.
Alright,
Jesus
so I think
Christ.
your list
Yeah,
was
let's
fire. Let's go
grow
ahead and
up.
move on to Sean's list.
Coming in hot. Orochimaru.
Oh, let's go.
Hate
Perfect
that
segue.
bitch.
Perfect
I'm
segue.
about, bro. I was watching Naruto. Every time Orochimaru's music came on, bro, I started stressing. I was like, God, man, get him off the screen. Tired of him. He just felt like he would never leave. um Next, another Dragon Ball Z reference, the Ginyu Force. That's more personally, it's just more like I thought they were weak. I thought they were like what like I thought they were filler villains. Like how do you have a Ginyu Force that's like how do you have an arc for villains that's filler? Like I would rather have it be an actual filler episode where I go watch him train. It was like dude, he could have followed them in his sleep, it felt like. Um then next I gotta go Rhino. I think Rhino was at least for the first season, seeing him as a villain for AOT, dog shit villain.
Oh, I have so much. Yeah, we don't go too far
Dog.
into all that, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You'll
I
forget
won't
the
go
name.
too far into that.
You'll forget the name. It doesn't
then,
matter.
Just
dude.
hey, Midas, get rid of the last 30 seconds in your fucking head. Get rid of
Yeah,
fucking
here,
everything.
look, no, listen. I'll do what you did for the Bleach.
So here,
Did you actually not hear what he said?
What?
Did you not hear what he said?
I heard him name the character, but I don't know anything about the character.
so don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Just
this
try to
is-
forget it the best you can.
Yeah, and this is one thing
Yeah.
I'll address on the show quick before we continue. Spoilers are gonna happen, and so
Yeah.
don't worry too much about it. Like at the end of the day, AOT's been finished for years now. So like whoever
Yeah.
hasn't seen that, it for the audience,
on
it's
them.
kind of on them a little bit. We're gonna try our best to avoid spoilers where we can. But like if we're gonna be doing analysis of these shows, we're gonna have to talk about them. You know. So
Yeah.
hmm
But with that being said, go ahead. You said Reiner.
Cover your ears, Midas.
Huh?
Cover your ears so he can talk about him for a second.
Yeah.
No, he's
Hey,
good.
raise
He's
your
good.
hand
He's
when we're
good.
done.
No, you're
No,
good.
go
You're
ahead.
good.
Well, I
You're good.
definitely
ahead,
have
Sean.
something to say about him when
I don't want.
he's finished.
Yeah. Next on my list, I got. You're good. You're good, Midas. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
We'll find a better system for this.
Next on my list. Next on my list is a crazy pool. Naraku from Inuyasha. Dude, that character, like, I was watching that one when I was growing up. That character was like, it gave me like, it was like pre Orochimaru vibes. It was like one of those characters who was like, dude, I'm like personally panicking every time I see him because it's like this he can fuck some he can mess something up. It's honestly thinking that it was gonna ruin the show. Like he was just gonna take over. Um and then next, Landon, you might want to cover your ears here. I'm not gonna lie. It's Tokyo Ghoul related.
Oh,
Uh so uh yeah, Jason. I like Jason just really pissed me off. I just like
Mhm.
it was just
Mhm.
something about him. Every time I seen him, it was like I wanted to get in there and be like, Kaneki, I got you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
fuck him. Like, I got you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's definitely my number one. Every time I saw Jason on the screen, I was like, he gotta go. You
I think that's a fire
good,
list.
lady. You good.
Yeah, I think your list is really good too. Like I like the your number one a lot. It makes a lot of sense for me
Mm.
because I hated that guy as well.
Yeah.
So
And kind of like
Yeah.
similar to some of our lists earlier, I like how there was a variance as well with the different kinds of characters. Like Orochimaru, I could easily say is one of my favorite villains, but
I agree.
it's really easy to hate him too. Like he's literally a snake. Like you don't gotta say much. You don't gotta say much more than that. So I think that was a good pool. I liked the Ginyu Force. I personally liked the Ginyu Force a little bit. I get what you're saying. They're basically fodder, but they're little stepping stones you need to be able to approach that fight with Frieza, I think.
That is
And
true.
you get a little bit more character development between Goku and Vegeta throughout that. But um, the Ginyu Force is awesome. I think that's a great one to have on the list. I have a couple that are similar to that. But yeah, the Attack on Titan one, I won't say his name again, but I don't.
Hmm.
That's
Good
another
pick.
guy that I really like too. As far as him being a
And
villain,
I do too,
I
but
I think
I love
I think he's a
uh
great character. So I won't speak too much towards that, but that was a good list. Alrighty, Landon, are you
yeah,
ready
I
for your
wish
list?
Landon's gonna wish he knew number one. You will soon. You'll like it.
all right. So number 5, if you know me personally, you will know why this makes sense. Ruin his family. Yeah, no, fuck them. Burn in a ditch. As a
Itachi.
matter of fact, drop a nuke on them. Screw that entire thing. Anything related to it, yeah, burn it all. I hate everything about them. I hated that arc. I hated watching them. I fucking hated everything about that. I almost dropped Demon Slayer because of that. That arc was fucking terrible. Why did Zenitsu take so long? Why couldn't he have killed him quicker? Like, I had to sit there and stare at that fucking thing for so fucking long. Why did it take him so long to kill him?
So
I didn't need to have a fucking 4.5 minute dialogue with Zenitsu shitting himself before he just sliced him in half in one shot. Kill him quicker. Because if I were in that situation, I would have been like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Yeah, hello, I need an airstrike. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? All right. Anyways, moving on. Sean, I'm going to show you how not to spoil something. At number 4, I have Birth Control, Broccoli, Beethoven, Barstool, Battleship. If you know, you know. Yeah, I just personally love that character. Just kidding. I fucking hate his character. He's a puss, okay? To put it in simple terms. Not gonna say who else, but someone came over and said, you know what? Give me that, give me that, give me that. You know what I'm saying? That's my G. Ain't gonna say his name, but we know what he is. He had a fucking shitty bowl cut. Love that guy. Anyways, number 3, I have Zamazu from Dragon Ball Super. I just personally didn't like his character. I thought he was too egotistical and way too full of himself and not in like a good villainous way. It was like to the point where it's like, dude, he would fuck you up by like one on one. Like, what is we doing? Like, and it wasn't even like a cool character in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like Goku Black,
He
dope
was
as fuck.
ignorant.
It
Yeah.
way too ignorant. Goku Black though, sick ass fucking character, actually a dope villain. Zamazu though is just like, why the fuck are you here? Go fucking play with the kids over there, you fucking pedophile. That's basically like what we're saying about Zamazu. He's just not a good character. Um, I fucking loathe this next character. Dude, fuck Captain.
Oh, let me fix my fucking glasses real quick. Oh. I want your estate.
Shut the fuck, bro. I hate that Captain Kuro. Fucking terrible character. Horrible fucking character. Fuck, such a shitty fucking villain. Like, I'd rather see Luffy fight like a fucking walrus on the beach instead of Captain. It was such a pointless fucking fight. It made no sense. Zoro was stronger than Kuro and his entire crew. Why the fuck did we have Luffy have to fucking like? What are we doing? Why couldn't Captain Kuro just step aside and like go play with himself in the corner? Like, what are we doing here? Horrible fucking character. Like, genuinely a fucking horrible character. The butler, now that was not a bad character. Captain Kuro, though, he became a joke real quick. Real fucking quick. And it wasn't even a good joke, you know? It was like the shitty dad joke that got told after you just got done eating fucking Thanksgiving dinner and watching football. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, go drink outside. You know what I mean? That's basically like how you feel when you see Captain Kuro on the screen. Such a shitty character. Buggy is a billion times a better villain than Captain Kuro. And that's saying something, in my opinion.
Well, you don't
It's
know
funny
about-
that you mentioned Buggy because I wanted to add Buggy to my favorite villains
Yeah, I
list,
was gonna put
but
him on mine too.
Well, you at my point where I'm at, it's like Buggy just hasn't done much. I know Buggy's very important to the story, though. But
Yeah.
at this
No,
point, it's like, dude, I'd rather go watch Buggy like fight pirates than watch fucking 10 seconds of Captain Kuro.
Where he's at in the story, basically there's been more screen time of Buggy being like 2 foot tall with just feet running around.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Hey,
So,
that's
like-
my favorite version of Buggy.
Right.
Don't disrespect no.
Hey, no, for real. I thought that was a great list. You guys have any reactions to that?
I think his list made sense to me. He kind of, Landon, you kind of have the similar mindset to my list.
I
Where
skipped
like,
over one. I skipped over one. I
Yeah,
skipped
go
over
ahead, go
one.
ahead.
I just now realized because I'm like, wait a minute. Number 3, Tentengu
Who was that?
from Demon
Who?
Slayer. Tentengu from Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
Upper Moon 4. I just didn't like how much of a puss he was as such a strong villain. Like, I get his emotions split were super strong, and that's where his strength lied. But it's like, dude, you're a waste of fucking space. It's like, go sit on a fucking shelf and don't move. Just stay right there. Stay put. It's like, and he's just ugly to fucking look at. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch Lizzo twerk for 20 minutes than watch fucking 3 seconds of screen time with this fuck. Like, he's hideous. And he's crying the whole time. What are you crying for? If you just don't go outside, you can't die. What are you crying about?
I like how your list is kind of like similar to my list in the sense of like you just hate the characters.
Dude, they're shitty characters. Well,
I think that's a
like,
great way to
besides
take
number
it.
5 is more of a personal like attachment to hate that character, but the other 4, yeah, fuck them. They're just shitty. It's like, why? Why are you here? Why did you choose to be the villain? It's like you're not good.
I personally don't like Waffle
All
more
I'm
than
gonna
Captain
say is-
Kuro.
All I'm
though.
gonna say is those 4 villains that I named, besides Rue and his family, like when your stomach hurts, a shit puts up a more of a fight than those 4 fucks do. Like, what are we talking about?
I think that it was funny that you hated the last one so much that you forgot his name or forgot to read him off. But no, Kuro
Number 3 on my list, to be honest with you.
Kuro is one of the most hated characters in One Piece. That's a good one.
That's for fucking great reasons. And so, dude, like, what was Oda thinking when he wrote that fucking character?
I
Like, was he
think-
drunk?
I
Like,
think-
dude had to been off the molly fucking writing that character, dude. Like, no sane person is writing a shitty fucking character that constantly goes like this and calls themselves the Catman. What are we doing, bro?
Yeah, I think the goal of that, and obviously, like hindsight's 2020. I don't know that Kuro or Odo had the foresight for this, but I feel like we had a big arc coming up with Baratie, and then like the emotional climax of East Blue Saga with Arlong Park. I feel like it was kind of like a lull before the storm, you know.
I'm gonna be
A
honest
lot
with
of
you.
a lot of things that go overlooked with that though too, Landon, that you might not have understood as well, is Usopp was the boy who cried wolf, right? So he's now Captain Kuro, Beast Pirates, like they're all like they were Beast, Claws. Like there's like references and things hidden in plain sight that yes, that the character might not be the best, but it was still the metaphor for Usopp, and like how he was developed.
Yeah, I
He's
think
this crybaby boy who cried wolf. Like nobody's gonna believe him. So that's why the strategist or Captain Kuro was like, "Well, I don't really give a shit about him at all." You know what I mean?
I think also too with One Piece, all the arcs, even the ones you don't like, get better in retrospect. Like after you get caught up, you'll go back to it, and there's so much stuff that's foreshadowing, even in Orange Town with Kuro, for like Usopp's character that you'll grow to appreciate later on. Like
Let me that it's just been fucking skipped. Like Luffy and the gang could have just stopped on the fucking dock, saw Usopp
Yeah.
and the boat, and just grabbed it and dipped, and it would have been a lot better in my opinion. Like
That's fair.
if you had a big arc coming up, skip the shitty one.
You
Like
would've
what the
missed-
fuck?
you
Why
would've
are
missed Django,
You're
though.
gonna appreciate Usopp later on, bro.
I'm gonna appreciate Usopp.
You will.
Oh,
You will.
yeah, okay. I'm
Well,
Black Jesus in 2 months too.
I
Come
also-
on now.
I also
Usopp-
wanted. Dude, Usopp's a good character.
Landon's really
I
gonna
also-
bite his tongue when he gets there.
I also want to bring up Zamazu as
I'm
well.
not.
'Cause
Chopper is so much better than Usopp. I'll die on that bridge.
there's people that will argue that. But Zamazu,
There's
I think,
people
is
that
also
are
an
very
interesting
stupid.
character. Because the one I didn't really care for him much either, but I did like how he's kind of like that trope where you get like this unfathomable power, and you kind of just say "fuck the world," I'm gonna go after that. And I liked how he had that mentality of like I'm gonna be able to take over this superhuman like body and be able to fulfill like my dream. I thought that was cool, even though he went about it in the wrong way, you know. But
I think Zamazu was just like so soft though. Like I feel like the only reason why he did that is because he couldn't win in any other way. Like Goku pretty
well.
much looked his way and embarrassed him.
well, that's the
Like
thing too.
that's why I don't like.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing is like
So, like-
imagine if one of us get a power like that, we're not gonna be fucking with Goku. I mean, he was obviously like a Supreme Kai or whatever he was, but he has some innate power, but he's not on the level that our boys are at that point. You know, like he's just a guy who gets
Right.
this crazy power he doesn't understand, and he tries to maximize it and fails along the way. I think that that's a cool storyline. You know?
like Goku is because he's so arrogant, and at the same time, as we were just
Yeah.
saying, he's not that strong, but he
Yeah.
thinks he's the strongest around, and it's
It-
just like it doesn't fit his character well, in my opinion.
And he's just a lying cheater too.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay,
don't
thank
like
you.
about
That
it.
actually helped me think about what I was going to say. It's like you got your ass whooped so bad that you go back in time to steal his power. That's cheap.
That's right.
That's not a cool villain. That's a cheap villain. Like that's not something to be like, damn, I'm not gonna lie, he really had us on the ropes there. It's not like dude, like if that came out, you'd watch, I'd be like, what the fuck was you'd be like, what the fuck is this like for example, let's say someone like hacked like stole Luffy's fucking body in One Piece and then joined Emu in Luffy's body as Joy Boy. You guys would be sitting here like, what the fuck is Oda doing? Like y'all would be fucking heated.
No, that's fair.
No?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. That's basically what that did. That you hijacked the MC's body because he beat the fuck out of you. What the fuck is you doing?
And
Go
lastly,
play on the intergalactic highway, you fucking deity.
last thing I want to mention with Landon's list is I thought you mentioned like the spider demon. I thought it was kind of funny that you had that on there. But yeah, do you guys want to move on to my list then?
Yeah.
No,
I'm ready.
See, Landon just
Go ahead.
keeps making that joke. It is pretty funny. No, I'm just kidding. So
you had a crickets emote or a sound effect.
we did have that on the soundboard. I need Sean to pull that up. No, I'm just kidding.
Where's it at?
But
Where's it at? Where's it?
so
Which one is it?
Thank you, Jihan. I
couldn't find.
There you go.
So I kind of had my thunder stolen again a little bit by Landon. My honorable mention is also birth control. I was that was the one that when we were kind of prepping the show, I was telling you guys, I was like, man, I'm really kind of curious to see what your guys' reaction is because I know a lot of people do like that character. I fucking hate that character. I think basically Landon summed it up perfectly. So,
Unpopular opinion, I think he was the only actual villain out of the group, but that's all I'm gonna say on
dude,
that.
I think I won't get too far into that, but I think that there is something to be said there too. But I didn't like his character. I think that um, Landon said it perfectly. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at that. But he definitely did get his bitch stolen, so I think that's funny. Um, and then so I'd say my number 5. I've got Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. I figure Midas might have something to say about that. I know that he is a much debated um, topic if he's a villain or not. I would say he is being part of the Phantom Troop, but I never liked him. I thought his relationship with Gon and Killua was definitely weird. I know some people might say something else to that, and that there might be a deeper philosophical reason for that. For me, I just thought it was weird as fuck. I did think his character design was pretty cool, and his ability was cool, but I don't know. I was never able to get past that as a kid watching it. And then moving on from him, I'm trying to think of who I want to put number 4. I'm going to put Emperor Pilaf. So I thought that was a great pool. I thought you guys would like that. So
Austin took him off.
yeah. Yeah, so growing up he was fucking always on the screen. I grew up with Dragon Ball, right? So he was always there and he was like always tagging along for no reason. And I loved that they brought him back at the start of Super. I thought that was so cool. So he's like one of those characters that I love and hate at the same time. He's such like a cool character to see brought back and be on screen, but at the same time I just have like nightmares of him just fucking doing nothing. So, and he's the one character everyone jokes about how like before they watch One Piece, it's like, "Oh, that's been going on for almost 30 years now and he's still not the, you know, um, king of the pirates." Emperor Pilaf has been fucking chasing the tail of our boys in Dragon Ball forever and still hasn't gotten shit. Not a single wish. So, I think it's kind of a
Pilaf has been chasing their tail
Is it like 30 years?
since what, the Red Army
Yeah,
arc?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's been chasing him since Red Army arc,
I don't
and
know what
that's all the
episode, but
way
it had to have
through.
been like in episode 40 or something of Dragon Ball. He was probably introduced. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's an
dude, that's
awesome
over
character.
30.
I figured you guys would get a kick out of that one. Another one I've got, I'm probably going to put Yuba here. That character, I'll try to refresh Midas's memory. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Spirited Away is a old Studio Ghibli.
Statement.
Yeah.
Emperor Pilaf starts chasing Goku and the gang around episode 4 of Dragon Ball, which came out in
Oh, wow.
1986.
Dang, you
So,
started early.
yeah, that's my fault then. Yeah, I guess he has been there since the
Yeah,
beginning.
Sean, 4th episode that Dragon Ball ever fucking had. There's 3 episodes without him. That's it in all of Dragon Ball's history.
Really?
I mean, if he came out in the
Actually,
4th
yeah.
episode and started
Well, yeah,
chasing
yeah.
the gang, yeah,
Yeah.
2 and 3 would be the only episodes without him. He's
So
been in Dragon Ball ever since.
sorry I might have missed this chat earlier, but Throw a Barton in the chat said I love so many anime antagonists. We obviously do too. One that I absolutely hate though is Yuba
That was
from Spirited Away. I think that I was telling you guys that's Studio Ghibli movie from back in the day. I grew up with that, and she's a character that basically like takes our protagonist and like basically makes her a slave, and was complete nightmare fuel for me because I was like 3 years old when I saw it, and she was definitely creepy. She's like this witch with like a big nose and can turn into a falcon. So she was definitely a scary character when I was a little kid. But number 2 on my list, I think I was surprised to not hear it on Midas's with him being such a big One Piece fan. But I had Spandam from Ennis Lobby, the one who, yeah, so the main villain,
Okay.
Ennis Lobby. I think that he is such a waste of space character. I hate him so much. And there's like literally just one panel in particular of him kicking Robin. That's reason enough for everybody in the world to hate him. So
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's my bitch.
yeah, I mean, so I think that Spandam's a really easy one to
Love me some on this
hate.
Sunday.
Thermal Barden said again, my fave Makishima from Psycho Pass and Askeladd from Vinland Saga. Yep, Vinland Saga is one of my favorites too, and Askeladd was on my list. He's a great character, but I'll go ahead with my last one. And this one again was kind of hard for me to figure out where I wanted to put him in the list. I love this. Like I think he's an incredible villain, but I hate him, and it's Griffith from Berserk. If you know his story arc, you'll understand why. I think he's a character that has so much incredible development through the beginning, and then once you get to the climax of the story, he's the most evil thing you've ever seen, and then you just hate that guy with all your heart and soul for the rest of the show. So, yeah, what do you guys think?
I like your list. I'm surprised that I like your NS lobby pool. My only thing is I think we had different takes on it, right?
Yeah,
Because I do think I hate that character for sure, but I do think he's good in the sense of it. He's one of those ones that you need to hate, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, he's easy to hate. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, the introduction to, it's kind of for me, his character is like how I felt for Bo Hancock when she's first introduced. Like, they just seem like a total piece of shit, you know? So that's kind of why I
Mhm.
went with him because I felt like all these villains are
Honest.
so different. He's one that you can just easily hate, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But throw up.
I
For sure.
don't like your Hisoka poll though.
See, and that's the one I was really curious about that because I remember last episode you commented something about Hunter x Hunter, so I was curious what
Mhm.
you would think about that.
So my thing with Hisoka is I think you're looking at him from a weird perspective. Like he's a weirdo for that. But Hisoka's whole thing was that he wants to fight strong people, right?
Right,
So yes, Gon and Killua are young, but he knows that they are strong people.
right,
Despite them being kids, despite anything, that's all Hisoka's looking for is a strong fight. So which Sean and Landon might like this character for that reason alone. Like Hisoka is about the smoke.
yeah,
Like he's trying to fight whenever, whoever, whatever, however. He's gonna fight you, you know?
yeah. I
So
think too.
and I also like him because he helps build those characters as well. You know what I mean?
I think
So
he acts a lot like Itachi acts, like in that sense. Like obviously Itachi went and had motivation to go join the Akatsuki. Similarly,
mhm.
Hisoka has his own motivation to joining the Phantom Troop. I think that there's a lot of value in that. I just, and I'm mostly speaking when I was a kid watching it, I just never got past
Yeah.
it. It always felt like this, and maybe I was projecting it a bit, but it always felt like this weird dude who'd always show up, and then it's like Gon and Killua are about to progress the story, and it's a guy who keeps falling. Like it's just the weirdest thing. Um,
Yeah, no, I definitely see your point. You know what I
but
mean? I
he is
can
a
totally
great
see
he
your
is a great
nah.
villain. That's why I have such a hard time because villains are some of my favorite characters, you know, and so
Mhm.
it's hard to like have least favorites. But I figured he would make the least favorite list because he definitely stuck out in my mind when I was a kid. But we got to throw a comment in a little bit more. Definition of a villain: Hisoka just wants to fight strong people, and the main characters are just kids. Yeah, no, kind of echoing what Midas had said there. Um, I think that that's kind of a weird dynamic, but it definitely power scales Gon and Killua as well. They're able to take on a dude who's capable of being in the Phantom Troop at such a young age. It shows the kind of freaks that they are, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah, that kind of. You guys have any other takes on anybody? I know that some of those you haven't seen
Peel
yet.
off.
Yeah. So
Peel off is a good one.
yeah, I mean that's a. I was trying to go through Dragon Ball and I was like, really, all of the villains I really like. Like, um, I know one thing I forgot to mention earlier when you were talking about your favorite villains is I was surprised you didn't put Boo in there because with him being a part of one of your favorite arcs, but like Boo, Cell, Frieza, um, any of the ones from Z, like those are all great villains, so it's hard to dislike them. But Pilaf was an easy one to hate, you know. So
Yeah, peel off is a real easy one to hate. It's just very annoying little kid
all
or
right,
little man.
well, cool guys. We are at an hour and 45 minutes. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Any other takes on villains?
Oh, another honorable mention for favorite villain, Majin Vegeta.
Oh,
Vegeta.
dude, yes.
Majin Vegeta.
The
I was just thinking
Saiyan
about that.
Pride Majin Vegeta scene is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is a great villain as well. Vegeta too. I mean, obviously he's now kind of a protagonist, but early Vegeta was a great villain as well.
I got a
Yeah.
question for you One Piece fans.
Yeah,
What's your opinion on Emu as a villain?
I almost put him in my least favorite.
Really?
I haven't read or watched enough right now, as of now, to put him in my list at all,
So
or him for whatever.
Emu gets introduced a lot later than people think. It's only been like maybe 200 or 300 episodes that we've known Emu's existence. So
Yeah,
that's why I would put him low. Like I almost put him in my least favorite. I think that he has the capability of being a great villain, but
I think he has capability of being like top 3 villain all
I do
time.
too. I think that there's definitely a lot there, but like you think about Doflamingo, he was foreshadowed 400 chapters before his actual arc even happened.
yeah,
There was so much before we got to him that built him up. With Emu, you
yeah,
just had this massive, overwhelming power that was dropped on you, and you still don't know shit about him and why he's there.
yeah,
But once that gets
exactly.
explained, he could be one of the best villains ever, you know? I have faith in order for that to happen, but as of right now, I would have put him at like one of my lower tiers.
I wanted to mention, Throa did put another comment in there. He said, "Did anyone mention Johan from Monster?" I don't know if any of us have watched Monster.
So
I don't know.
I've seen a
Justin,
little bit of Monster.
oh,
It was a long, long time ago, so I vaguely remember it. If you want, while we finish up our conversation, if you want to just describe who that is from that, because I have a vague uh, memory of it, but
I don't. I've never watched it myself personally. That's why I was asking in here.
I
they're
haven't
saying
either.
he's definitely the best. Yeah, and that's another one. That's a little bit of a different genre, kind of like psychological
Mhm.
thriller and more mystery based. I think that that's one we could definitely like watch eventually and
Yeah,
discuss. And that's part two. For the members of the audience, so you guys know, we all have varying amounts of anime that we've watched, but we all enjoy it and love talking about it. So we're gonna keep
mhm.
watching stuff, and we'll have plenty of new takes, I'm sure, here after like the next couple of months as the show progresses. But yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps up our conversation. Before we go, I kind of want to let you guys know what you can expect going forward. So I've got a good bit of work yet to do on the channel, getting stuff set up for like socials. I want to make the stream a little bit better, so I'll add a schedule and stuff like that. But tentatively, we're thinking about doing Sunday nights. We're gonna have at least me, Landon, and Sean on. That'll probably be the main crew on Sunday nights, and then Wednesdays we're also gonna do a stream at night. And for that one, we're gonna have special guests. Midas will probably be on there quite a bit, and then we'll have some other people on too. You know, The cast may change, but we'll try to get you guys 2 episodes a week. I'll get that schedule posted so you guys can see it. But yeah, that's what I'll be working on for you guys. And then also too, going forward, I think Wednesday we're gonna do a fun stream where we do like trivia games, different kinds of anime related games, kind of test our knowledge on different anime. I think that'd be fun. And then next Sunday, we're going to get caught up on the Misfit Demon King Academy. I think that we're all kind of close to getting caught up on that. So we're going to do the first season of that and kind of do an analysis. So it'll be a different feeling, more in-depth podcast. But that's kind of the stuff you guys can look forward to coming up. And if you guys are enjoying the show, definitely think about following us on YouTube and Twitch. We definitely appreciate you guys' support. And we're just starting this thing out. So any, follows, likes, anything like that we get, we definitely appreciate. And if you share it with your friends, we definitely appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and make the Spotify tonight for this. And once we get the Spotify put up, you guys are going to be able to leave reviews. So if you're enjoying the show, let us know. Type something up for us and we'll read it out for you guys on a future podcast. But it's been fun. We'll catch you guys here on Wednesday. But see you guys.
Thank you guys for having me.
Super.